Welcome to historic Matthews Arena on the campus of Northeastern University, where tonight the Northeastern Huskies take on the Georgia State Panthers. Good evening. I'm Adam Jones alongside Jared Shaffrin. Thanks for joining us here on GoNUxstream as we bring you all the action and analysis. Today's GoNUxstream broadcast is brought to you in high definition. Fans, please note the GoNUxstream portal has two different broadcasts listed for today's game. One game is offered in high definition, the other in standard definition. If you're using a high-definition internet connection, make sure to check out the HD feed. If not, you can still enjoy the same great production in SD quality. Again, Adam Jones and Jared Shaffrin here on GoNUxstream to bring you all the action. Right now, let's go down to the sideline and check in with our sideline reporter, David Goss.
Thanks so much, guys. I had an opportunity to talk to Coach Cohen before the game today. We talked about Northeastern's current win streak and recent improved play. He said one of the main factors he believes to this improved play has been Northeastern's ability to cut down on turnovers. He's talked about how going into the Christmas break, Northeastern was averaging over 20 turnovers a game. But recently, they've been able to lower that to only 11 turnovers a game. He believes precision and focus on the offensive end have been key in that category. Another main factor that he's talked about in this improved play is the ability to get minutes from the young players on the team. He's specifically talked about freshman Quincy Ford, who had a double-double in the game versus William and Mary. He likes how Quincy Ford adds versatility to the team, saying that he could play anywhere from point guard down to power forward, ability to score on the post or shoot from the outside. Look for Quincy Ford to have another big game tonight. Thanks, guys. Back up to you.
All right, David Goss and company down on the sidelines as Northeastern gets set to take on Georgia State. Jared, a couple of teams at the top of the conference tonight, and we expect a defensive struggle.
Absolutely, Adam. Georgia State, one of the top teams here in the CAA, coming in at 5-1 in conference. They are on an absolute tear right now, actually winning 13 of their last 14 games, and it's been from the defensive side of the ball. That's how they're winning their games, Adam. In CAA play, they're only allowing 49 points per game. This is a staunch defensive team, and the Huskies have been locking up opponents defensively as well. They only allow William and Mary to score 50 points in their last time coming here at Matthews Arena, and Northeastern's done a good job, Adam. They've won a few games in a row, 5 out of their last 6, so it should be a good matchup tonight.
Yeah, David mentioned Quincy Ford, one of the standout performers for Northeastern, just a freshman out of St. Petersburg, coming off a double-double last time out in a win over William and Mary. Jared, for the Georgia State Panthers, who should the Huskies watch out for tonight?
Well, I'm looking at right now for the Panthers. They have a few different guys that we're looking at, but Eric Buckner is the guy. He's 6'10", and he's a big body, averaging 10.6 points per game, about 6 rebounds per game. He leads the CAA in field goal percentage, shooting over 60%. He also leads the CAA in blocks per game, almost 3 blocks per game, and he's really been a big factor for the Panthers this season. He's going to be a guy the Huskies are going to have to shut down and watch out for him on defense, because his big body can come over and block your shot.
You get a look up at the rafters here at Matthews Arena. Huskies have not been to the NCAA tournament for quite some time, nor have the Georgia State Panthers. Both teams, though, in the mix at the top of the conference. Huskies check in at 4-2, as Jared mentioned, winners of 5 of 6. Georgia State got off to their best start since 2000-2001 under new head coach Ron Hunter. They are 5-1 in a 3-way tie atop the CAA, as we're about to tip things off here at Matthews Arena between the Northeastern Huskies and Georgia State Panthers. Let's go now down to the sideline, where we go live for the national anthem and tonight's public address announcer, Nate Long, as he introduces the starting lineups.
Once again, good evening and welcome to Matthews Arena for tonight's men's basketball matchup featuring the Georgia State Panthers and your Northeastern Huskies. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, you are asked to please rise and remove your hats as the Northeastern University Pep Band honors America with the playing of our national anthem. And now for the introduction of tonight's starting lineups. First for the Georgia State Panthers. At forward, a 6'6" senior from Missouri City, Texas, number 1, Josh Misha. The other forward is a 6'10" senior from Earhart, South Carolina, number 20, Eric Buckner. At guard, a 6'5" senior from Lithonia, Georgia, number 14, Jihad Ali. At guard, a 6'4" senior from Savannah, Georgia, number 4, James Fields. And at guard, a 5'10" sophomore from Alpharetta, Georgia, number 12, Devontae White. Coaching the Panthers in his first season is Ron Hunter, assisted by Darryl Labari, Everett Sullivan, and Claude Pardue. And now introducing your Northeastern Huskies. At forward, a 6'8" freshman from St. Petersburg, Florida, number 12, Quincy Ford. The other forward is a 6'7" freshman from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, number 44, Reggie Spencer. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore from Toronto, Ontario, number 32, Alwayne Bigby. At guard, a 6'4" junior from Leander, Texas, number 20, Joel Smith. And at guard, a 6'2" junior from Flint, Michigan, number 14, Jonathan Lee. Coaching the Huskies in his sixth season is Bill Cohen, assisted by Pat Duquette, Jim McCarthy, and Antonio Reynolds Dean.
Get a look in at the crowd here at Matthews Arena as the Huskies and Panthers get set to jump it up. Bill Cohen, of course, in his sixth season here as the head coach of Northeastern, as you heard. Over the PA address, Ron Hunter in his first season here after spending 17 years at IUPUI. Jared, off to a phenomenal start here in his first year as Panthers head coach.
Oh yeah, 13-4 overall, 5-1 in conference play here to start for Ron Hunter. And Adam, we talked about it a little bit off air, but he seems like he's done a great job just getting everyone to understand his system and getting everyone in place to start this season. They've been really all on the same page. They've had some very nice wins, big ones against Drexel and VCU, and overall just a really good start to the season for Ron Hunter.
Yeah, I think that VCU win is the one that kind of made everybody take a step back and go, hey, this Georgia State team under Ron Hunter, legit team in conference. As the Panthers and Huskies jump it up, it'll start Georgia State basketball going right to left on your screen. Georgia State in the away blues, Northeastern in their home whites. You get a look in here at Devontae White, the sophomore for Georgia State, their leading scorer. Panthers work against this Northeastern man-to-man zone, or check that man-to-man defense, as they go up against a good Huskies basketball team defensively, allowing just 56 points a game over their last 6. You see some defense from the Huskies. This is Joel Smith in transition. Can't connect on the layup. Rebound goes to Jihad Ali.
Smart play right there by Alwayne Bigby. Just was able to pick up the loose ball, start it the other way. Joel Smith unable to convert on the layup. Had the opportunity.
Ali bounces it to Fields. Had an open look at a three. Instead, gets it inside to Buckner. Now back outside to Fields. Panthers with 17 on the clock. Look to move it around. We said should be a defensive battle here in this basketball game. The Panthers, the 14th ranked team in the country, giving up under 57 points a game, as this is Buckner from the right block, shot off the mark, rebounded by John Lee.
There's a help out by John Lee right there on the weak side, getting the rebound. That's going to be big for Northeastern, is rebounding. When they've out-rebounded their opponent, they're 5-2 this season.
Turnover here by the Huskies as Bigby tosses it over the head of Ford. This is White in transition, goes up strong and able to connect on the bucket. Panthers draw first blood.
And really nice play by White right there as he got right to the basket.
It's going to stay Husky basketball here. Northeastern will have 31 on the shot clock. Jared, you mentioned Quincy Ford back in the starting lineup here tonight. Just a 6th start for the freshman, and his first since UNCW here at Matthews Arena. Bigby Gets it to Ford, high post, looks down low for Spencer. The freshman can't convert inside. That's pulling down the rebound is Josh Mishaw.
Both shots for Northeastern, Adam, very makeable ones right around the hoop. Just both of them have been off the target. Pretty widely missed shots, too. Huskies getting the good opportunities down low. They got to make them count.
Mishaw puts it on the deck and draws the whistle here on the Northeastern Huskies. First on the team. And the first on Alwayne Bigby. Jared, you mentioned good shots for the Huskies. Good defense by the Panthers inside, altering shots.
Yeah, they've been right there on both shot opportunities. Georgia State smart, not fouling and not bailing the Huskies out, forcing them to make the basket. Both times they haven't been able to connect.
Huskies in a zone. Off that last foul, that's Buckner inside with the quick reverse layup. It's 4-0 Georgia State.
Nice move by Buckner right there, and here you see some pressure from Georgia State in the backcourt.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of zone defense tonight from the Georgia State Panthers as Bigby goes up and gets it. Panthers do drop back into that zone. This is Bigby, finds Smith, 3 on the way. Joel Smith connects, and the Huskies pull back within a point.
Nice shot by Joel Smith starting off the day for the Huskies, and a nice pass right there by Bigby to find him. And as you said, Adam, Georgia State playing a lot of zone. It's going to be key for the Huskies to keep shooting when they are open.
John Lee and Joel Smith can both hit those open threes. The 12th straight game with a three-pointer for Joel Smith as White tries to answer back with a 3 of his own. Does, and the Panthers lead 7-3.
White wide open there from the wing. And again, you see off the made basket, the pressure from Georgia State. Huskies have it over the timeline right now.
5 in the early going for the sophomore Devontae White out of Alpharetta, Georgia. Bigby with a foul and a turnover here in the early going for the Huskies. Able to find Joel Smith, just drilled a 3 last time down the floor for the Huskies' only points. Smith bounced underneath, Bigby picked up his dribble, back outside for Smith, thought about the 3, instead finds Quincy Ford, now back to Smith, quick trigger on a 3, good for Joel Smith, his second of the night. Huskies trail by a point.
Hot start for Joel Smith, he's keeping the Huskies in the game with the 2 3-pointers, they just trail by 1.
Joel Smith, second leading scorer on this Northeastern basketball club, checked in at just over 12 points. Ali into the paint, dangerous pass, but Mishaw able to save it right by the midcourt line. Mishaw working against Bigby, 3-ball good for Ali. Jared, we said this could be a defensive struggle to start. Both teams did not get that memo.
Both teams are hot from the start. Right there you saw Ali off the pass from Mishaw. Mishaw saves it at the timeline and makes something happen. Teams are shooting on fire here from downtown.
Lee yet to shoot it, finds Joel Smith, already with a pair of 3-pointers. Now skip past Quincy Ford, 3 from the near side, good for Quincy Ford. Huskies back within a point, their third 3-pointer of the game.
Teams combined are 5 of 5 from downtown. How about a hot start for both teams shooting?
Forgot about defense, Jared.
Yeah.
As we already have it 10-9, a little over 4 minutes into the game. Though we know how this goes, both teams still feeling each other out. Sure we'll settle into a defensive standoff at some point. Buckner finds Fields' wild jump shot off the window, and it's pulled down by Joel Smith. Lee ahead to Ford. Ford puts it on the deck here, working on Ali. Now back outside for Smith. We'll see Kashif Edwards at the next whistle for Bill Cohen as Bigby puts it on the deck, draws the contact here on Georgia State. That is the first foul on the Panthers with 15-14 left to go here in first half action. Huskies trail by a point, 10-9. Let's go back down to the sideline where we're joined by our sideline reporter, David Goss.
Thanks, guys. We talked before the game with Coach Cohen. First thing that comes up when you talk about Georgia State, it's always defense. You've talked about them all game. Top-ranked defense in the country. He said they play a 1-1-3 zone, a lot like what they saw at the St. John's game away. St. John's game, Northeastern did a good job against that zone. One of the keys to that game was 3-point shooting. We saw that early so far. Joel Smith's been hot. That's going to be a key if they're going to want to win this game. Back up to you guys.
Will be key if the Huskies can shoot against that zone. I'll tell you, Northeastern better hope they start playing defense like Art Horn there did in that shot. The Northeastern team trainer doing a nice job covering David Goss there down on the sideline as the Huskies lead it by a point, 10-9, or trail it by a point, I should say, 10-9. Panthers out in front here, Jared. 3-point shooting for both sides has been key early.
And when you talk about zone defense, this is what Georgia State mostly plays. You're going to leave open some 3-point shots. And right there, Northeastern makes the best of it. All 3 shots going home for the Huskies. 2 for Smith, 1 for Ford. And on the other end, Georgia State, Adam, these are scoring shots. I mean, the Huskies, you can't be expected to defend some of these three-point shots. If the other teams are taking them and making them, you kind of just have to let them cool off almost. And it's been good for Northeastern. They've been able to respond and keep themselves in the game, despite Georgia State being hot to start. It's only a one-point game, so really they cancel each other out.
Joel Smith and the Northeastern Huskies trail at 10-9 as Smith with a pair of threes here in the early going to keep the Huskies in it. Quincy Ford also on the board for Northeastern. Jared, you get a look in at the Georgia State sideline over there, coached by Ron Hunter. Got a little bit of info here for you, a little bit of breaking news for you. Former Georgia State coach Lefty Driesell following along here on GoNUxstream, watching his Georgia State Panthers as they lead Northeastern 10-9 with 15-14 left here in the first half. That last foul, by the way, on Josh Mishaw, the senior out of Missouri City, Texas. First on Georgia State and the first on Mishaw. Huskies also with one team foul, one against Alwayne Bigby. Kashif Edwards in the game for the Huskies sets the screen as this is John Lee outside. Bigby with the 18-foot fall-away jumper. That shot off the mark, pulled down by Tony Kimbrough into the game for Georgia State. This is Fields with it, penetrating against the Husky defense. Now back outside for Kimbrough. Kimbrough, wild scoop shot. That shot off the mark. It'll be saved on the baseline, or check that, actually out of bounds on Georgia State. By the way, if you're following along on the HD feed, or attempting to follow along on the HD feed, we had some technical difficulties early in the game. Make sure you go back and check that out. As Jared, we get another look at Kimbrough driving to the basket.
Yeah, and you said, Adam, just a wild shot. Last couple shots for Georgia State, kind of forcing him a little bit. Get the idea, Northeastern's defense pressure is working right now.
Well, you see that zone defense sliding side to side. Huskies trying to get over the top of it, Jared. They've been successful early in this game as we've seen some solid skip passing from the Huskies. There's one from Ford. Finds Smith. Baseline shot, no good. Rebound goes to Jahad Ali.
An off-balance shot for Smith there, kind of forced it. And then Alwayne Bigby had his hands on a rebound but couldn't control it.
Kimbrough to the basket. May have been blocked by Kashif Edwards, but Buckner right there to clean up the mess.
Yeah, nice job by Buckner getting the offensive rebound and getting those second chance points that Northeastern failed to capitalize on after Alwayne Bigby had a chance for it. Georgia State, Adam, one thing I've noticed, right when they get the ball, they are taking no time. They are going right down the court, and they're looking for something in transition.
Buckner, preseason all-conference selection. Speaking of all-conference, this Georgia State club, Jared, picked 11th in the conference in the preseason as they sit here now in a three-way tie atop the conference. That is John Lee drawing the contact here on Georgia State.
And you're right, no one really expected Georgia State to be this good as you see Lee getting to the basket, and you said drawing the contact on Ali. And going back to that, Adam, I know they didn't have the toughest out-of-conference schedule, did the Panthers, but to put up 13 wins early in the season like this and start out the CAA 5-1, it's a pretty impressive accomplishment no matter how they end up.
Well, and think about it. They beat Drexel by 14 points. They beat VCU on the road by 2 points. They lost to Mason by 3. Respectable loss, especially at George Mason.
Yep.
And Jared, when you talk about common opponents, Northeastern and Georgia State have both beaten Towson and check that, Towson and also William and Mary. But UNCW, they hammered by 14 points earlier this season.
Yeah, Northeastern struggled with them. Keith Rendelman and his boys came into Matthews and caused a lot of problems.
John Lee able to connect on 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Wild shot that time from Ali. It's going to stay Panther basketball. 13:37 left here in first half action with Georgia State on top by 2. Georgia State trying to get a substitution in there late, but Mishaw will remain on the sidelines as the Panthers have Kimbrough, Vincent, Ali, Fields, and this is White with it. Out on the wing for Kimbrough. Nice entry inside for Vincent, who was whistled for the travel. As you get a look in there at James Vincent, career high 18 points last time out. Perfect 7 of 7 shooting in a victory for these Georgia State Panthers.
Yeah, over Towson is almost a coming out party there for Vincent, as that was the first time he touched the ball on this one. Unfortunately for him, gets called for the travel.
Huskies trail it by a deuce as this is Kari Black into the game for Bill Cohen and company. Black right to the basket and a tough blocking call going against Georgia State. That was Vincent taking the charge.
Yeah, well, John Lee hit a double team right here, and he got the ball to Kari Black. As you see on the replay, takes no hesitation, goes right to the hoop. Vincent tried to take the charge there, and Adam, he might have had a good claim to one. But Kari Black's going to take 2 shots from the free throw line right now.
First of 2 on the way for Kari Black, who's able to connect. 4th team foul, by the way, on the Georgia State Panthers. Misha, Ali, Buckner, and now Vincent, all with a foul apiece. Second free throw on the way for Kari Black, the junior out of Rialto, California. Connects on both ends, and we're all square at 12 apiece.
Yeah, good job by Kari Black right there. Free throw shooting for Northeastern's been an up and down thing this season. I'm sure Coach Cohen has definitely been stressing the practice from the line, but good 2 baskets right there for Black.
White walks it up for the Panthers, 12-12, with about 13 minutes left here in the first half. Finds Ali, curling off the screen. Ali kicks it to Richardson just into the game. 20 on the shot clock here for the Georgia State Panthers, working against this Northeastern defense as Bigby tries to chase it down on the baseline. And it's going to stay Panther basketball. A good effort that time by Alwayne Bigby, diving over the cheerleaders.
Yeah, Bigby, no doubt on a big-time effort. Unfortunately, couldn't win the battle, and Georgia State keeps possession. You see here on the replay as, we thought we had a replay, but then now we get the replay. Georgia State has the ball.
Take our word for it, Alwayne Bigby.
Yeah, good hustle play right
there. Went crashing out of bounds there for the Huskies as this is Misha into the paint, outside Richardson, 3 ball, good. Georgia State back on top by 3.
3 of 3 from downtown in this game, and that's why they're up.
We continue to see this applied pressure from the Panthers off of Makes Jared. Huskies have not been bothered by it in the early going.
Yeah, not at all.
We'll see if that's a factor as the game wears on. Joel Smith, far side wing, finds John Lee. Lee back outside, Bigby, now to Kari Black on the baseline. Black gets it stripped on the way up by Jihad Ali. Turnover here by the Huskies. Panthers, top 10 in the country in steals per game. As White underneath the basket, outside for Misha, back underneath for Richardson, and we're going to get a whistle away from the basketball.
It's going to be a foul, offensive foul on Ali.
12:05 remaining here in the first half. That is the 5th team foul on the Georgia State Panthers. And that last whistle goes on Richardson, his first, team's 5th. Huskies trail by 3 as Georgia State continues to throw a variety of zone defenses here at the Huskies. Bigby finds Ford on the baseline, is already connected from deep in this game. Skip past John Lee, penetrates in, lost it on the way up. It's going to stay Husky basketball as the Panthers touched it last. 11:45 remaining in first half action, Jared, as we get another look.
Yeah, and right there, John Lee getting inside. You see a little bit of a touch on the ball by Vincent. He knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay Husky possession. Adam, Huskies are penetrating, but Georgia State doing a good job collapsing, not allowing too many opportunities down low inside.
No, Huskies trail it by 3, 15-12 with 11:45 remaining in first half action. Husky fans, you can share your thoughts on Twitter. Tell us where you're watching the game from and what you think of the team's performance tonight. Follow @NU Athletics and use the hashtag GoNU when tweeting about Huskies athletics. Jared, I know for a fact you're all over Twitter. You're tweeting about this game about 8 minutes in. What are you tweeting about?
Well, you're tweeting about the hot shooting right now of both teams. Georgia State specifically coming out. Both teams really 3 of 3 from behind the arc, and Adam, we talked about defense, and it's slowed down as far as the made baskets have gone, and both teams have tried to get inside, and the defense has been there on the inside, but on the outside, both teams are hot, and you see the stats matchup here coming into the game, both teams shooting at around 30% from 3, and they both haven't missed one yet, and we're almost halfway through the first half. So I think that's what you're tweeting about is the hot shooting of both teams. Joel Smith comes out, gets 2 3-point opportunities. We've seen Devontae White with a 3-pointer, Jihad Ali with a 3-pointer, and even Richardson came out and made the last one for Georgia State, putting them up by 3. And I think it's been, also you got to look at Northeastern early in this game. Georgia State's tried to pressure them. Northeastern hasn't been bothered by it. It's been something that you see head coach Ron Hunter trying to implement for his team. Zones, a lot of pressure, variety of different things on defense. Northeastern's done a good job. John Lee and company have not turned the ball over that much. Northeastern just with 2 turnovers in the early going. That was something that plagued them earlier in the season. And in their last few games, Adam, the Huskies have not been turning the ball over as much. Their average of the season is down to 15. It was up by 20 just a few games ago.
Georgia State looking to pack the paint against this Huskies team is Richardson. A lot of contact on the sideline, but it'll stay Husky basketball. 14 on the clock, and Richardson and Kashif Edwards collide into each other. Good hustle that time by the sophomore out of Charleston, South Carolina. Ford to inbound for the Huskies as Lee takes it off the inbounds. No points. Check that 1 point for John Lee here. The Huskies leading scorer. Pull up three. Cannot leave him all alone, Jared.
Yeah, way deep kind of shot from John Lee. Continues the streaky shooting for both teams from downtown. Huskies able to tie the game up.
John Lee came in 9th in the conference at just under 15 points a game, also 3rd in the conference, hitting over 39% of his threes. Can't imagine Ron Hunter happy with the defense last time down the floor for the Panthers, but Josh Mishaw able to answer right back.
Yeah, Mishaw really the leading rebounder on this team, only averaging about 6 points a game, but that time he went right to the hoop and put it home.
Huskies with Edwards, Ford, Lee, Black, and Bigby on the floor. Georgia State countering with an array of zone defenses here over the course of the first half. Panthers lead it by a deuce, 17-15, just under 11 minutes remaining in first half action from Matthews Arena. Lee picks up his dribble, bounce to Edwards, tried to find Bigby inside, couldn't do it. Just 3 on the clock for the Huskies. Lee launches one up, shot no good. Offensive putback from Bigby, and he's going to draw the whistle on the Panthers.
Nice job by Alwyn Bigby, getting in the paint, pulling down the rebound, going right back up with it, taking the contact. Here you're going to see on the replay, Lee takes that long 3 with the shot clock winding down, hits the back rim, and right to Alwyn Bigby, who takes the quick contact from Ali. Ali's got 2 fouls here in the first half, and then Bigby's got 2 shots.
Yeah, 6 on the team, and as you just said, Jared, 2 on Jahad Ali as Bigby can't connect on the first free throw. We'll see if Ron Hunter takes his senior out of Atlanta out of the game. He does, as Ali will be replaced on the floor by James Fields. Also checking into the game, Devontae White, as you get a look in at Alwyn Bigby. Redshirt sophomore here for the Huskies. Missed most of last season, Jared, practically all of last season due to injury, as Bigby hits on the second free throw, pulls the Huskies back within a point.
And he's a guy that the Huskies are counting on for defense, and he's going to be big in this game against Georgia State. Huskies want to keep it low scoring, keep themselves in the game, and Bigby's been visible early on.
So Jahad Ali takes a seat with those 2 personals for Ron Hunter. White tried to leave it off underneath for Buckner, and he draws the contact on the Huskies, just the 2nd on the team.
Frustrating call here for the Huskies because White left it off for Buckner, and as you're going to see on the replay, he didn't really have much control of the ball here. It was kind of a surprising last-second pass. He bobbled it, tried to go up with a shot. It was a little bit of a wild one, went high up in the air, and get a bailout call there, foul on the Huskies.
Just the 2nd team foul on Northeastern, the 1st on Reggie Spencer, as you get a look in at Eric Buckner. Not a great free throw shooter for the Georgia State Panthers, but able to rattle that first one home. Jared, he is an all-conference type of defensive player, though, for Ron Hunter. Leads the conference at nearly 3 blocks a game.
Yeah, and he's been right there for all season for Ron Hunter, and right here, he connects on another free throw already in this game, Adam, with 6 points. He's been on the scoreboard early for Georgia State. He averages about 10.
Yeah, and at 6'10", Huskies will struggle to match his size in this one. Smith skipped into the corner for Quincy Ford. Ball fake. And now Huskies will work it around the perimeter with 20 on the clock. Bigby outside Ford. Kick back out for Lee. Driving in, now gets Bigby for a wide open 3 from the corner. That one's short. Nice rebound. Pulled down by the 6'10" Buckner, who nearly threw it away. Fields with the presence of mind to pick it up. Gets it ahead to Mishaw. Stripped by Quincy Ford, the freshman out of St. Petersburg. Showed those quick hands, Jared.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice play by Quincy Ford.
Joel Smith looking for his 3rd 3 and connects. Huskies tie things back up at 19 apiece.
Adam, the last few possessions, both offensively and defensively, I've loved what the Huskies have done. Their ball movement has been stellar, and their defense has been very good as well. Quincy Ford with that steal the last time down, looking to do the same thing all over the Panthers right now defensively.
Yeah, well, you can see how the length of Quincy Ford at 6'8" really bothers some of these players who aren't necessarily ready for a player as quick and as athletic as Quincy Ford. This is Buckner with just 10 on the clock as Richardson behind his back. Quick trigger on a 3. That shot back rims. Rebound pulled down by Mishaw. Lost it out of bounds. It'll stay. Panther basketball, 34 on the clock.
And that time right there, Alwyn Bigby kind of lost his balance going for the rebound. You see as the shot goes up, Mishaw comes in from behind him, and he able to out-leap Bigby, get his hand on the ball, and then it went out of bounds. Call could have gone either way, but will stay at Georgia State.
Stays Panther basketball as we're all square, 19 apiece. 9 minutes left here in first half action. Fields, interesting release from the senior out of Savannah, Georgia. Can't connect on that 3 ball. Smith looking for Ford, gets it into the paint, couldn't handle it. Turnover on the Huskies as this is Devontae White. White at the elbow, got it batted away again by Ford, those active hands, but it'll stay Panther basketball.
Yeah, you talk about that wingspan of Ford. He's really able to get into almost any play defensively. Right here you see him trailing the play. Lee holds White up just for a second, and right away Ford, with those quick hands, he's got such a good agility, athleticism, that he can put his hand right in there and create a problem for the offense.
Lee out, Venegas Flores in. We've mentioned the active hands of Quincy Ford. He and John Lee each came into this game tied for 5th in the conference at nearly 2 steals a game.
Now they both, well, John Lee actually takes a seat, and now you're right, Ford also goes to the bench as Kari Black comes in, so a little bit of a change here from Bill Cohen. You see Venegas Flores on the floor as well. He'd be taking over the point guard duties.
We wonder if Cohen just trying to steal some minutes here, as we're about 40 seconds away from our next media timeout with both Lee and Ford on the bench. It's been Joel Smith with the hot hand in the early going here, Jared. He leads all scorers with 9, as we're all tied at 19 apiece. 8.5 minutes left before halftime here in Boston, Massachusetts, on the campus of Northeastern University. Fields kicked inside for Buckner, working on Reggie Spencer. Got his shot stopped by Alwayne Bigby. It'll stay Panther basketball, but solid, strong defense here from the Huskies, Jared.
Yeah, you talk about the defense from Bigby. Here you see Buckner with the ball. Spencer's on him. Buckner's a guy who's got a lot of size, so the Huskies trying to get some help D. Bigby comes over with the emphatic swap.
Yeah, Eric Buckner leads the conference in blocks, but Alwayne Bigby showing him how it's done. Fields, long three-pointer, can't connect. Nice rip down by Joel Smith. Huskies looking to take the lead with over 8 minutes left here in first half action. Offense will be run through Venegas Flores. Just saw him, number 11 for the Huskies, a freshman, just checking into the game. Bigby driving down the paint, finds Spencer underneath, got his shot blocked by Buckner, who answers right back after getting handed his lunch down the other end. Fields finds White, kicked into the corner for Kimbrough, called for the whistle. 7:48 left here in the first half, all tied at 19 apiece. Kimbrough didn't like the call, but Jared looked like the freshman couldn't keep his pivot foot. 6'5", out of Louisville, Kentucky, is Kimbrough.
Yeah, 5th turnover for Georgia State here in the first half. And Adam, you look back to that last offensive possession from Northeastern. Great ball movement, a nice job by Bigby, recognizing he had the lane to drive. He makes the move, kicks it over to Reggie Spencer, who thought he was wide open. And then you got to look at Eric Buckner and what he's capable of doing with that 6'10" body of his. And like you said, he got some revenge from the other way down where Bigby blocked his shot.
Well, Husky fans, a reminder, we had some technical difficulties early in the game with our HD feed, but today's GoNUxstream broadcast is brought to you in high definition. Fans, please note, the GoNUxstream portal has 2 different broadcasts listed for today's game. One broadcast offered in HD, the other in standard definition. If you're using a high-speed internet connection, make sure to check out the HD feed. If not, you can still enjoy the same great production in SD quality. So again, make sure you check that out, switch over. While we got 7:48 left here in the first half, Northeastern and Georgia State all tied at 19 apiece. Jared, at that first media timeout, we said, well, throw it out. Neither team playing up to their reputation defensively, both teams shooting the lights out early on, but we've sort of settled in here over these last 5+ minutes.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Adam. We're still tied at 19 apiece, but the defensive play on both sides has been much improved, and the shooting percentage has gone down. Georgia State's still shooting at 43%, which for them is very good. Northeastern at 41%, which is higher than Georgia State would like to see their opponents shooting at. But the three-point field goal percentage has been where it's at early on. Northeastern still at 71%, as Joel Smith has 3 threes for himself, and Georgia State have had to rush a couple threes at the end of the shot clock. They're down to 50%. Adam, I think you got to credit Northeastern's defense here. They've been frustrating Georgia State, making them shoot a lot of shots they're not necessarily comfortable with.
No, Georgia State has been led by Eric Buckner in this game, 6 points in the early going, including a couple of buckets inside. Huskies led by Joel Smith with 9, so number 20 on each team leads their side about 12 minutes into this one, as we're all tied 19 apiece. This is Smith. He's had the hot hand here in the first half. Kick to Lee. Georgia State looking to double. Lee able to dribble out. Smith finds Spencer, high post, outside for Bigby, who's been active defensively for the Huskies. Bigby finds Lee, ball fake, draws the contact, 7th team foul on the Panthers, and Jared, Joel Smith taking a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, and Lee does a nice job as he's got the ball right here, does a nice job with the fake, gets his man McGee in the air, and yeah, it's Lee going to be at the line here for 2 shots.
Last whistle goes against McGee, who, if that name sounds familiar, Jared, he had quite the effort last time these two teams met last February down in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, an overtime win for Georgia State, but McGee was the star of the game. 31 points, a career high for him. He's played at a bunch of different schools in his collegiate career, but that game might be the highlight of his collegiate career, scoring 31 points and leading Georgia State from a 17-point deficit to beat Northeastern in Atlanta.
Yeah, he was 11 of 21 in that game, 4 of 6 from deep. And he comes into this game averaging just over 4 points a game. As John Lee able to connect on 1 of 2 from the stripe. Huskies lead it by a point, 20-19. 7:15 remaining in the first as Bigby gets in the passing lane. Bigby out in front, draws the contact again, no whistle. As James Fields, good hustle play from behind. It'll stay Husky basketball, 7:09 left in first half action.
Yeah, well, the speed of Fields right there was an asset for Georgia State as Bigby got out to the races and Fields caught up with him. A nice job by Bigby to get the steal, went up for it. Fields, a clean swat, put that out of bounds. Huskies going to keep possession after a nice turnover.
Good hustle that time by James Fields after the turnover on the Panthers. Bigby looking for the entry, gets it. After getting the steal down the other end, this is Joel Smith, leads all scorers with 9, finds Lee, curling off a screen at the elbow, passed on the shot, hits Ford far side. Ford struggles to corral it as the Huskies still have plenty of time on the clock, 18. Elbow jump shot, good from John Lee. Huskies with their largest lead, 22-19.
Nice move by Lee right there, get some space for himself, elevate and drain the jump shot. Really a wild possession for Northeastern. They're having trouble getting possession of the ball, but Lee settled everything down and then found some space for himself.
Joel Smith with 9, John Lee with 7, 2 leading scorers in the game for the Huskies. Shouldn't come as a shock as Richardson can't connect on the jump shot. Quincy Ford pulls down the rebound. Lee probing that Georgia State defense, finds Joel Smith. High post for Quincy Ford, kicked opposite now for Alwayne Bigby, and Bigby whistle for the push-off there as it's going to be an offensive foul on the Huskies, second on Alwayne Bigby and the third on the team.
Yeah, and a tough call on Bigby right there, but Adam, really, I'm very impressed with this Northeastern offense, moving the ball all around. You're seeing 4 or 5 guys on every possession touch the ball. This time you get a look at the push-off that they called on Bigby as it was White who went flying. But really, like I said, I think that's the key to Northeastern's offense. They've been shooting 46% today. They lead the game by 3. They're getting everyone involved. Everyone's moving, and it's been a nice-looking offense here for Bill Cohen's team.
Yeah, Bigby got a nice ovation from his teammates walking off the floor. He's been very active defensively here for the Huskies. Misha working against that Northeastern man-to-man defense. Kick to Fields, back to Misha. Outside for Buckner. Good help that time by Joel Smith. Fields saves it on the baseline. Kicked in the corner. White, quick trigger 3 is off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Fields as the Panthers, Jared, hit the offensive glass.
Yeah, big offensive rebound right there. Went over Quincy Ford's reach. He couldn't get it. And now Georgia State with a new possession.
Ali back in the game with those 2 personals, finds White. Panthers swinging around the outside. Misha puts it on the deck, back outside Fields, trying to drive inside, nearly got it stripped by Kari Black. Fields able to corral it. White will settle things down with 10 on the shot clock. Devontae White working on Lee, into the paint. Floater is good. Nice bucket that time by the sophomore.
And you know what, Adam? Northeastern looked really good on defense that possession. It was just such a long possession for them to have to be in a defensive stance after the offensive rebound. A nice move by White to free himself for a shot, but a really good-looking defensive possession for Northeastern.
Spencer, high post, finds Smith. 1 dribble inside for Black. Turnaround, jump shot, no good off the window. Spencer kept it alive. Rebound pulled down by Ali. Georgia State trailing the Huskies by a point as White on the blow-by on offense. Follow from Eric Buckner, and the Panthers take the lead right back, 23-22.
Right there, White is a small guy, but he's speedy, and he got past Quincy Ford, got right to the hoop, and a nice job by Buckner to follow up the missed layup. Adam, that has been huge for Georgia State, the second chance points early on in this game.
Another steal here by the Panthers is Jahad Ali able to pull it away from the Huskies, and a whistle goes against Northeastern, the 4th on the team, following the turnover. With 4:26 remaining here in the first half, Huskies trail it by a point.
In the last couple possessions, Northeastern's gotten out of their game plan a little bit, allowing Georgia State to move past them, run in transition, and that time you saw the foul. This time you see White on the replay getting past, missing that layup, but nobody boxes out Buckner, and he's got an easy jam.
Yeah, White at 5'10", couldn't convert, but the 6'10" Buckner able to throw it down. Panthers right back to the basket as Fields lost it on the way out of bounds, hit the stanchion. Turnover on the Panthers, 4:14 left in the first as Fields couldn't hang on to the basketball.
Yeah, you see the reaction from the senior out of Savannah. Just lost the ball there, hit the back, as you said, Adam, and right after, not upset, as he's a little frustrated with himself. Sorry, upset as he's frustrated with himself. Not happy.
Lee working against this zone pressure. Dangerous pass. Mishaw with the pick and the flush. Panthers lead it by 3.
Easy basket for Mishaw after Lee just made a pass a little bit lazy, trying to get it over to Quincy Ford. Just didn't really look, a little bit of a lob, and now you see the pressure is going to come from Georgia State as they see maybe they've exposed something here.
Yeah, and you see Ron Hunter really getting into it on that Georgia State sideline. Joel Smith, though, silences that Panthers sideline with his 4th 3 of the first half.
And Hunter, now, he's upset at his team because he's saying, guys, we've talked about this. You got to cover Joel Smith. He's hot right now. You can't leave him open. And once again, Adam, a lot of room for Joel Smith, keeping the Huskies in this game with 12 points on 4 of 4 shooting from downtown.
Whistle goes on the Huskies, team's 5th and the 2nd on Reggie Spencer. He joins Al Wayne Bigby with those 2 personal fouls. Jihad Ali, who you see in that Panthers huddle, the only Georgia State player with those 2 personal fouls. Before we get to the out-of-town scoreboard here, taking a look around the conference in the CAA as we're all square, 25-25, 3:32 left here in the first half. Joel Smith and the night he's had leads all scorers with 12 points. And Jared, you're right. I don't know if Ron Hunter is going to totally get away from that zone defense. It's sort of the bread and butter here for the Panthers, has been all season. But Joel Smith has got to at least make the Panthers think about it.
Yeah, maybe you do a box and one or something, try to find somebody to guard him, or at least tell your defense, hey, you got to be ready to pop out on this guy because he's just been absolutely torching it from downtown. And I think Northeastern as a team, they all of a sudden, when you got a guy like Smith who's making these shots, everyone else becomes more dangerous. If they start giving it to Smith, he's got to recognize he's got to dish it off to the other players, and that could be big time for the Huskies.
Northeastern and Georgia State all square at 25 here at Matthews Arena. Jared, let's take a look around the conference.
Out-of-town scoreboard update here. Towson is still looking for their first win of the season. They're hosting Old Dominion. They're down 29-20. The Monarchs lead with 3:41 left in the first half. JMU is on top of the Seahawks of UNC Wilmington, 33-30 with 2:54 left in the first half. George Mason at home on top of Delaware, 35-26 with 4:19 left in the first. And a game that's got a little bit more time left to it and a little bit more low scoring. Drexel leads Hofstra out in Long Island 14-11, Adam, with 6 minutes left in the first half. Low scoring game there out in East Hempstead, New York.
Well, that's sort of what we expected here at Matthews Arena as you get a look in at that Huskies huddle. 25-25, still 3.5 minutes left in first half action. Jared, these two teams came in on the strength of their defense. The Panthers had won 13 of their last 14 games, but it wasn't with defense like this as Joel Smith able to connect from the near side wing.
Well, yeah, you saw the triple team on John Lee. He found his buddy Joel Smith on the wing, and he buried it right there as the Panthers were just a little too late to come over and try to get a hand in his face.
Panthers allowed just 57 points a game. That is 14th in the country. Huskies, over their last 6 games, allowing just 56 points per game. So again, a couple of teams known for their defense, at least recently. Hasn't exactly been the case here through the first 16-plus minutes of the first half, all tied at 25. As White kicked to Mishaw inside for Field. Still plenty of time on the shot clock for the Panthers. Mishaw with a steal and a flush a few trips ago for the Panthers. Gets it to White. 5 on the clock. White into the paint. Reverse layup, no good. Loose ball is going to be tracked down by Quincy Ford. Will slow things down. Inside of 3 minutes to go in the first half. Ford looking very uncomfortable with the basketball. Bounce to Smith, far side wing. Kicked in the corner, Lee. Now back out to Smith, who leads all scorers with those 12 points. Huskies play it high-low. Spencer inside for Kashif Edwards. Huskies take the lead right back.
And the Huskies finally able to get some points in the paint here. They had struggled to once they got in the paint, but a nice pass right there from Spencer. Over to Edwards, and Edwards with a nice finish as it rattled home.
Mishaw, nice entry inside for Buckner. Goes up and gets it. Can't connect. Rebound pulled down by Kashif Edwards. He's made his presence felt here in the last couple of trips down the floor. Huskies lead it by a bucket, 27-25. Ford thought about that three-pointer. Instead, wide open look. John Lee, the lefty, Drano's one. Huskies lead it by 5.
And a big shot by John Lee right there, putting the Huskies a little bit farther ahead of Georgia State. And a nice recognition from Quincy Ford. saw the double team coming, dished it right off to John Lee, and John Lee had a lot of time there, Adam, to set up his shot.
Huskies have 2 players averaging in the double figures. Both are in double figures in this one, and now Eric Buckner joins him with his 10th bucket of the game. Jared, when he's in close, it's as good as in the bucket. He leads the conference at nearly 62% shooting. Fields draws the contact here after a turnover on the Huskies. It'll go against Reggie Spencer, I believe. And if that's on the freshman, it'll be his 3rd.
Yeah, it is, and you're going to see the replay here as Spencer had the ball, double team coming, they knock it loose, and Fields, Spencer kind of just landed on his back, and he gets called for the personal. Honestly, Adam, it's tough that it's his 3rd foul, but I think Coach Cohn will take it, being that really that was an easy bucket for Georgia State the other way, as there's no one back for Northeastern in transition, and it would have probably been another easy slam dunk for one of the Panthers.
You see Misha on the Panthers dealing with that Huskies student section right on the near side. As the Huskies lead it by 3, though Spencer will have to sit with those 3 personals. Ali right off the dribble, drains on the long 2, and the Panthers right back within a point, 30-29.
Nice looking shot from Ali. They're right back in the game, as you said, Adam, and again with the pressure, forcing a pass to be deflected out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, Jared. James Fields, his jump shot is not textbook, but he is very active defensively for the Panthers. He's gotten his hands on an awful lot of loose balls.
Yeah, one of the uglier jump shots that you see around the CAA, Adam, and you're right. He's been active on both ends of the floor, and even if he's not shooting the ball on offense, he's been good, moving the ball around, working it to his teammates, and he's definitely an intense guy.
Double bounce pass that time to Ford as the Huskies on top, 30-29. Smith, skip pass into the corner for Ford, gets it to Lee, puts it on the deck, back outside. Ford, 3 ball good. Huskies lead at 33-29. Inside of a minute to go in first half action.
If you're Georgia State, you can't believe it. The Huskies are shooting 8 of 10 from downtown here in the first half. Adam, they're scorching.
Huskies on top by 4, looking for a defensive stop. Misha crossing over, they get it from Ford. Ahead of the break, John Lee in transition, layup good. Huskies with their largest lead, 35-29, and a timeout for Ron Hunter.
Great move right there. Quincy Ford again, active, stealing the ball. Nice play to get it up to John Lee, the speed point guard. Lee, as you see there, entering the huddle, getting all kinds of congratulations. There's Ford with the steal. He goes right to transition, leaves it off for Lee, and he doesn't miss from there.
Well, Jared, you are absolutely right. A little offense and a little defense from Quincy Ford. He hits on a 3, 1 trip down the floor, and then starts the break with those long arms going the other way. He is a secret weapon for this Huskies team.
As a freshman, Adam, I saw it right away from the red-black scrimmage. I said that, this is going to be the guy that makes a difference here because he's so athletic. He's not afraid to, like you said, unleash a three-point shot or make a big defensive play. And I think his athleticism and the way that he plays the game is so great for Coach Cohen. He's easily coachable. And, he's made things a lot easier in his freshman year for Northeastern.
Huskies lead it by 6, looking for another defensive stop inside of 20 ticks left here before halftime. Ali nearly got it stripped by Benegas Flores. Huskies still very active on the defensive end. Panthers will hang on to the basketball. Good defense that time, Jared, by the freshman.
Yeah, and that time you see Benegas Flores getting involved. He got his hand on that ball late. As you see Smith getting all over Ali, Benegas Flores knocks it out of bounds. And a late substitution in for Georgia State as McGee enters the game.
Yeah, McGee, every Husky fan's nightmare after those 31 points last February. Fields through Ali, gets it outside White, just 5 on the clock. White crossing over, finds Fields, driving baseline, able to connect on the layup, and that is how we'll head into halftime. Huskies leading at the break, 35-31. Jared, you mentioned a lot of that on the back of some red-hot three-point shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 of 10 from downtown. Joel Smith started it off, Adam, as he was 4 of 4, hitting a lot of shots early, but Quincy Ford 2 of 2. John Lee also with 2 3-point baskets of his own. And an interesting note is we ended the half there with James Fields getting that layup pretty much as time expired. In the Huskies' last game against William & Mary, they got a shot as the clock expired in the first half to tie the game up against William & Mary. Teams were tied at half, and then the Huskies came out in the second and steamrolled them, ended up winning the game by double digits. Just interesting to note, Georgia State able to end the half on a positive note there. After the Huskies looked like they were playing good defense, they got a big 2 to end it.
Huskies, winners of 5 of 6. The Panthers, winners of 13 of 14. Something will have to give in that second half. We'll come back with first half analysis and all of your stats in just a little bit here on GoNUxstream.
your Northeastern dance team.
All right, fans, we want to welcome to the floor. We're going to have the Northeastern University Student Basketball Competition. We've got two teams. We've got Zorn, we've got PJ, Kevin, Darren, Zach, and Zach against the black and white, the black and red guys, and NU Troop.
Welcome back to Northeastern and Georgia State here from Matthews Arena on GoNUxstream, where the Huskies lead the Panthers 35-31. Adam Jones alongside Jared Shaffron. Let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast down to the sideline, David Goss.
Hey guys, thanks. I think Northeastern will really be happy with that first half, up a few points on the #1 team in the conference. But you can't help but feel that it could be a few more points. Some turnovers on the top of the key after they break the press have really been crucial. Some sloppy passing up there has to be worked on. It has to be something Coach Cohen talked about in the halftime. The other thing is on the defensive end. The defense has been good, but in playing a zone, they're having trouble boxing out. And they're losing a few rebounds, being forced to play defense for, at some points in that first half, 40 seconds straight. It'll be something they really want to clean up in that second half. Coach Cohen coming into the game talked about how there's 6 teams sitting atop this conference that could all compete for those top 4 seeds that get a bye in the CAA tournament. He talked about this game being a crucial point in proving that they're one of those teams. I really think that they've shown it so far, and they'll want to close this game out and prove that they're a #1 team in this CAA. Back up to you guys.
Huskies lead it by 4, 35-31, as you get a look in at some of these first half highlights. Jared, it's a familiar picture over and over and over again, especially for Ron Hunter's club. It is three-pointer after three-pointer for Northeastern. They were 8 of 10 in that first half. Is it sustainable?
I think, Adam, it is if Georgia State continues to play defense like they've played. I mean, I think obviously, it's tough. Northeastern don't have the best three-point shooters, but the guys who are hitting the three-point shots, Adam, aren't guys who you don't expect to hit the shots. John Lee, Joel Smith, Quincy Ford, those are the 3 guys that have hit shots, and those are probably your best three-point shooters and your most consistent three-point shooters. So, yes, if they're open and Georgia State continues to play zone and allows Northeastern to shoot like that, leaves them that far open, I think it is sustainable. If you see a change to man, things might have to change on the Huskies side of the ball on offense, and they might not be able to be that wide open. But Adam, like I said in the first half, I really like the way that Northeastern's moved the ball, and they created those opportunities for themselves by, getting everyone involved and finding the open man.
Yeah, the theme of that first half, pretty much who you'd expect to score, scored. John Lee and Joel Smith, the 2 leading scorers on this Northeastern club, both average in double figures, both right around their season average with 12 points in that first half. Conversely, on the other side, Eric Buckner leads the Panthers with 10 points. Devontae White also checked in with 7. So again, pretty much who you'd expect to score in that first half has scored. It's just been a much higher volume, Jared. Georgia State in conference allowing under 50 points per game. And every opponent they've played has scored under 61. Northeastern on pace to blow that out.
Absolutely, and another thing that really where Georgia State kind of makes their money is off turnovers. Right now, Northeastern has 13 points off turnovers, Georgia State with just 8, and Georgia State has a plus 4.5 turnover margin this season. That's 11th best in the country for Georgia State. That's been a big thing for them. Right now, they have 8 turnovers, the Huskies have 7. They're actually down 1 in the turnover margin, and that's been a big factor as well.
Husky bench has to like what they saw in that first half with Northeastern on top by 4. Georgia State opens in that zone defense. Huskies come out onto the floor with 4 of their 5 starters. Kashif Edwards replaces Reggie Spencer, who's sitting with those 3 personal fouls, and the Huskies, Jared, open up the second half with an empty possession.
Yeah, right there, John Lee, just a little bit of a miscommunication, was lofting a couple passes back and forth, tried to loft one towards the basket, nobody on the other end.
Fields working against this Northeastern man-to-man defense. Ali looking inside for Buckner, lost it off his foot. 1 turnover apiece here to start the second half.
Yeah, Northeastern likes that possession for their defense as they turned it over. And like you said, 2 empty possessions really here. A slow start to the second half for both teams.
You see as Buckner gets the entry here. 1 dribble just right off the foot. He has a monster size advantage over Kashif Edwards on the inside. Lee kicked into the corner for Smith. Huskies working around the outside. This is Ford. Bounce back for Lee. Thought about the 3. Instead, gets to the elbow. Kicked outside Ford. Near side wing. 3 ball good. His 3rd three-pointer. Huskies, Jared, are 9 of 11 from beyond the arc.
Fantastic shooting from the Huskies and a good job by John Lee finding the open man. That time, again, Quincy Ford, his 3rd three-pointer of the game.
Well, he might not be the rookie of the year in the conference this season, as Adam Smith may have that market cornered, but Quincy Ford is going to be an all-rookie player in this league as Buckner goes up and down, or check that jump ball. It'll stay Panther basketball. as the Huskies able to get a hand on it. Northeastern leads it by 7, 38-31, Jared, after Quincy Ford connected on that 3 ball. 9 points in the game for the freshman Ford, coming off his career double-double. You get another look here at the jump ball. Kashif Edwards gets a hand on it. Now a whistle away from the ball goes against the Huskies. 18:42 left here in the ball game. Northeastern leading it by 7.
Yeah, foul's going to be on John Lee, just his first of the ball game, so no real trouble for anyone on Northeastern other than the big man, Reggie Spencer, who's sitting down right now with 3 fouls.
Got a look in at Kashif Edwards. The Husky responsible for bodying up with Buckner in this second half, with Reggie Spencer sitting with those 3 personal fouls. It will stay Panther basketball as the Huskies continue with those active hands, Jared, in half number 2.
Yeah, Ron Hunter, coach of Georgia State, really arguing, saying that there was some contact there. A couple Huskies getting their hands in. Now they call a whistle on Northeastern.
Second foul on the Huskies. 18:28 left here in the ball game. Northeastern leading by 7. As you get another look here at the whistle going against Northeastern, John Lee with 2 quick personals to start the second half.
Lee's at the line for Georgia State, one of the better free throw shooters for them, coming in at just under 70%. He misses the first one. Ali on the day, 5 points for Georgia State. You know, he's been a solid guy in the starting lineup here, Adam, for the whole season for Georgia State.
Yeah, came in as the 3rd leading scorer on the club at 12.5 points per game. Hits on the 2nd of 2 free throws. Pulls the Panthers back within 6, 38-32. About a minute and a half into the second half. Lee gets up in the air, dangerous pass, but Ford able to pull it down. Back outside for Lee. Thought about the 3 ball, and instead the Huskies will move it around the outside. Smith, skip pass over to Lee, slashing into the paint. Kicked outside for Ford, couldn't handle the pass. Still 13 on the clock for the Huskies. Entry inside to Kashif Edwards, looking for Ford. Gets it out there. Now 8 on the clock. John Lee, slicing, elbow jump shot. Good for John Lee. Huskies lead it by 8.
I love the coaching there by Coach Bill Cohen. He recognizes, let's not take a shot early in the possession. Let's work the ball around, get a good shot. And now, Adam, because the Huskies have been shooting so hot from downtown, they're able to fake that shot and move inside, get a little bit better percentage.
Buckner gets a nice entry pass, spins the wrong way, and still connects on that right-handed hook. Pulls the Panthers back within 6.
Nice job by Buckner right there. He's totally dominating down low. He leads the conference in field goal percentage, 5 of 9 from the floor tonight, 12 points.
Jared, we've seen the Huskies pass on a few open looks here to start the second half. You think Cohen's stressed, look, the 3 ball will be there. Let's get some good shots early in the clock.
I absolutely agree, and really it's been good for the Huskies. You know, they're not jumping at the first chance just because they're hot to everyone shoot the 3 ball. They're doing a good job, and they're waiting for the open opportunity.
Well, there's an open look for Lee, who gets a rare miss from the corner. Loose ball will stay with the Huskies as Lee clapping his hands in frustration after a wide open look. But Jared, they're due at least a couple of misses in this half.
Absolutely. I mean, they're 9 of 12 in the game here, and you see Lee off the miss, following his shot and creating the play. Goes off McGee, who is now going to check out of the game, not seeing the success he had back in last February of 2011.
Smith takes the inbounds, quick trigger 3. That one rims out, so the Huskies in one possession miss as many 3s as they did in that first half. They still lead it by 6, 40-34. Just over 3 minutes into the second half. Wild shot by Fields, good. Off the glass. I feel like I've said that every time he's pulled the trigger, but Fields able to connect. It's a 2-possession ball game. Ball ahead on the break. This is Kashif Edwards. Reverse layup, no good. Altered by Buckner. Georgia State basketball with a chance to make it a 1-possession game. Fields ahead of the pack, guarded by Quincy Ford. 26 on the shot clock for the Panthers. Fields looking to hand off to White. Instead, will reset out by the midcourt logo with the Panthers trailing by 4. Fields finds Ali. 3 ball, no good. Rebound tracked down by Edwards. Nice hustle that time by the Huskies on the glass. Lee looking to push it ahead for Northeastern. Kicked in the corner for Bigby. Back to Lee. 3 ball, corner. Good! John Lee. Huskies lead it by 7.
And there you go. John Lee showing that he's not going to get frustrated just because him and Joel Smith missed one. He goes right back to it. Adam, he's wide open. And again, Georgia State leaving him open, and they're making him pay.
Fields right back down the lane, and Fields connects on a hanging, driving layup, pulls the Panthers back within 43-38.
Big shot from Fields right there because Northeastern got a lot of momentum after that big three by Lee. Georgia State not backing down in this one, not at all.
And you saw Ford there again. Step up to the arc, pass on the open look. Huskies settling for shots on the interior here as the whistle goes against the Panthers. That one goes on James Fields. First on the Panthers, and for Fields, his first in the game.
Yeah, you see here, this time it's Bigby going at Fields. Fields tries to take the charge, but he's moving his feet, didn't have the set position, and they get the blocking foul on Fields before we go to the media timeout.
Yeah, and as the Huskies welcome that call on the floor, we welcome in the third member of our broadcast, David Goss, down on the sidelines.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pretty good start to the second half so far for the Huskies. I think the one thing they'll want to watch out for, though, although they have been successful with the three-point shot, is falling in love with it. You saw 2 minutes ago Jonathan Lee get in the paint, get an easy shot, a nice close two-point shot. Northeastern, they've been forced to play heavy defense all game. Georgia State's coming at them with the full court press. Those types of things add to heavy legs. Heavy legs cause you to miss long shots. You don't want to get stuck shooting too many three-pointers late in the game. Back up to you, guys.
Well, David mentioned some heavy legs on the Northeastern sidelines. Probably nothing of major note, but Quincy Ford, the freshman here for the Huskies, a hot shooter with 9 points in the game, being stretched out on the Northeastern sidelines by Art Horn. Jared, a lot of the focus will go on John Lee, Joel Smith, and rightfully so, the way they've shot the ball. But Quincy Ford has played a whale of a basketball game here tonight.
Absolutely. Offensively, defensively, he's been all over the place. And, I think he's just cramping up a little bit. You see him drinking some Gatorade, getting the electrolytes up, and getting stretched out by trainer Art Horn. Coach Duquette over there as well, trying to instruct him on how to keep himself loose, because they are going to need him in this game, Adam, for the stretch run. He's been such a big factor for them in the last couple games, but even tonight, like you said, right now, Ford has 9 points, all coming from three, but it's been just all around. His passing is good, he gets steals, and it's been a nice game for Ford.
Is that Ryan Pearson's brother? It's like Ryan Pearson's doppelganger.
Looks like
on the baseline there as the Huskies lead it by 5, 43-38. We mentioned Ford getting stretched out. He's back in the game.
Pearson, by the way, Adam, has no minutes so far, has yet to check in for the Huskies.
Well, we'll see if that changes with Spencer on the sidelines with those 3 personal fouls. It stays Husky basketball as Misha able to get a hand on that loose ball. But you're right, Jared. Spencer sitting with those 3 personals. Kashif Edwards took his spot in the starting lineup to begin the second half, and we'll see how Cohen divvies up those minutes and when he goes back to Reggie Spencer, the freshman out of Tuscaloosa. Smith, far side wing, bounce to Ford, 20 on the clock for the Huskies. Ford bounced in the corner. Smith, wide open look again. That one nearly rattles home. Loose ball kept alive by Edwards. Ford trying to fall on top of it, instead picked up by James Fields. Panthers do not have numbers. Field kicked it back to Buckner. A loud dunk, but it'll be a whistle on the Huskies. And Jared, looked like you disagree with the call.
Yeah, I didn't really see any contact there, Adam, as they went in transition. Fields kind of went at John Lee, trying to make a spin move here. And if you see on the replay, I don't really think Lee did much. I think he fell down by himself. It's the 3rd foul on Lee, and it's a really tough call on the junior captain here for Northeastern. He's got to watch his fouls now.
I'll tell you, I'm no expert in body language, but looking at Bill Cohen on the Northeastern sideline, Jared, I'd say he agrees with you that shouldn't be John Lee's 3rd foul. Misha, guarded by Ford, can't connect off the window. Buckner keeps it alive. Misha can't connect again from in close. Ford able to save it. Husky basketball. Northeastern on top, 43-38.
And Adam, the Huskies will take it, but those two shots by Georgia State both had more contact than that foul against Lee. And now Huskies get that ball batted around, but out of bounds on Georgia State. So the Huskies get to keep it here as you see a replay of the Huskies going to the basket here.
Fields keeping his hands on the basketball and then standing on the baseline is Kashif Edwards. Elbow jump shot trickles home for the Huskies. They lead it by 7.
Friendly roll for Kashif Edwards right there, and the Huskies get a nice basket right back.
45-38 is the Husky lead. White drives to the bucket. Shot blocked that time by Northeastern. Huskies with numbers as Smith Pushes it ahead to Lee. Now back to Smith. Kicked in the corner. Lee. Wide open 3-ball. That shot long. Kept alive by Ford. Loose ball tracked down by White. Panthers, again, do not have numbers. White kicks it outside for Ali. Skip pass for Richardson. 27 on the clock. Fields will now slow it down for Georgia State. They trail by 7 points, 45-38. Ali, 18-foot jump shot. Short. Rebound pulled down by Smith.
Well, Adam, I'm going to agree with David here. The Huskies can't fall in love with the three. I know they had a great percentage-wise in the first half. They're 10 of 16 right now, and a bad turnover.
Yeah,
now weighing Bigby.
Miscommunication that time between Bigby and Quincy Ford right in front of the Husky bench. Turnover on the Huskies. As we see Reggie Spencer checking into the game for Northeastern. Kashif Edwards will have his seat. Jared, pretty good minutes to start the second half from the senior out of Philly.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kashif Edwards, you know, I like to play Adam. He gets that long jump shot to rattle home, but then he goes right back down on defense and comes up with a block. And that's a big-time senior play to be in there on both ends of the floor. The only senior on this team to transfer from Niagara, and he's getting his last couple minutes of his college career. It's well worth it for him here.
Bigby and Edwards out. Venegas, Flores, and Spencer into the game. Bill Cohen turns to a couple of freshmen. 3 on the floor for Cohen, with Ford, Spencer, and Venegas Flores. This is James Vincent, the big junior out of Columbus, Georgia. Turnaround hook shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by Quincy Ford, the longest Husky, at 6'8". Venegas Flores, wide open look, passes on it, kicks into the paint. Ford able to find Smith in the corner. Now back outside Lee, driving inside, got it stripped by Kimbrough. White working on Venegas Flores, wild shot, and corralled eventually by Georgia State as Richardson able to come up with it, gets it back to Kimbrough. Kimbrough gets it stolen away by Quincy Ford. It'll stay Panther basketball, but Jared, again, it is a common theme. Open looks for the Huskies, and Quincy Ford extremely active on defense.
Yeah, Quincy Ford now he might have to come out. He's once again holding the back of his calf there. As you see on the replay, Ford all over the place.
Yeah, and Ford asking for a substitution, as it looks like he's grabbing up in that hamstring area.
Kari Black into the game for Ford.
And Bill Cohen's going to get Quincy Ford out of the basketball game. Certainly good news for the Georgia State Panthers, as Ford with 3 threes in this ball game, also extremely active defensively. He takes a seat behind the Husky bench where he'll try to hydrate and stretch out. Northeastern leads it by 7, 45-38. Fields finds Richardson near side wing, looking inside for Vincent. Huskies in their man-to-man defense as the Panthers move it around the perimeter. This is Kimbrough, who drives and draws contact on the Huskies. I'll tell you, Jared, every time Kimbrough gets it, it is head down and right to the bucket.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Adam, and you see him there on the baseline, getting the ball right in front of Marco Venegas Flores, taking it down the baseline. You said, Adam, head down, barreling right to the hoop. And that time he got the call.
Here it is again. It's Kimbrough right into the paint. The freshman out of Louisville. Still learning the tempo of the collegiate game as Lee finds Venegas Flores on the baseline. Lefty layup good for Marco Venegas Flores. He'll be going to the free throw line with a chance at a 3-point play.
And what a nice move right there from the freshman. Takes the pass from Lee in the corner. Nice move to get past Vincent. Scoops it off the hoop and takes the contact. And again, Adam, that was Tony Kimbrough Jr., who was in on the play, gets whistled for the foul. He is definitely an active player. He was actually listed as the 51st best shooting guard in the country by ESPN last year in their recruiting rankings. And his father actually was a big-time player for the University of Louisville.
Kimbrough out of Louisville, as you mentioned, Jared, whistled for that last foul. Venegas Flores makes him pay with a 3-point play for Marco Venegas Flores, and just like that, Huskies lead it by double digits, 48-38 over the 5-1 Georgia State Panthers, who sit in a 3-way tie atop the conference. White driving on Venegas Flores, the whistle right back on the freshman out of Boston, Massachusetts. 11:53 left here in the ball game. Huskies with a 10-point lead, 48-38. You see Bill Cohen welcoming his freshman over to the bench.
And then having a discussion with the referee, and Bill Cohen very animated right now. Possibly some of the most animated talk I've seen out of Bill Cohen in a while. Talking to the referee about how his players here are getting whistled for some fouls when there's not much contact.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jared. Huskies are shooting what from three-point land?
They're shooting right now 62% from three-point line.
All right, so I'm sure that looks good in any definition, but I think it looks extra good in high definition. And Husky fans, if you're watching on GoNUxstream, the broadcast is brought to you in high definition. Fans, please note, GoNUxstream portal has 2 different broadcasts listed for today's game. One is offered in HD, the other in standard definition. If you're using a high-speed internet connection, make sure to check out the HD feed. If not, you can still enjoy the same great production in SD quality. As the Huskies lead it by 10. I think Northeastern fans enjoying this one regardless, Jared. You see on your screen, there's the stats, and the 55% from the field and 62%, nearly 63% from beyond the arc says it all.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's been the key for Northeastern here is when Georgia State's allowing them to shoot, they're making their shots. And Georgia State's held their opponents to a pretty low percentage from the floor. Actually, 30% is what the opponents are shooting against Georgia State in the CAA right now.
They're
Huskies
ninth,
are way ahead.
They're 9th in the country in field goal percentage.
Yeah.
They are 14th in the country in scoring defense, and the Huskies have cut them to Swiss cheese tonight.
Absolutely.
11:53 remaining in the game. Again, the same question, Jared. Is it sustainable? That is the question that the Huskies need to consider. And I'll tell you, it's not like they're just jacking up the first look every time they come down the floor. It looks like they were drilled at halftime. You're going to get open looks early in the shot clock. You're going against the zone. You don't have to launch it up 10 seconds into the clock, and the Huskies, for the most part, have avoided that.
Yeah, they're taking that advice.
Another turnover on the Panthers as Fields bounced it at the feet of Buckner. Huskies looking to build on a 10-point lead. Venegas Flores into the game for the Huskies with Quincy Ford cramping up on the sidelines. Black puts it on the floor, driving into the paint. Scoop shot, no good. Rebound tracked down by Fields.
Nice move by Black to get inside, but that time tried to do too much.
Mishaw right to the bucket, and I'll tell you what, great screen coming down the floor by Buckner to free up Mishaw to get to the basket. And Jared, for the first time in a while, we can see the Panthers set up their full court pressure.
Yeah, a good bucket by Mishaw, but now a foul here on Fields. Not what the Panthers are trying to do with that full court pressure.
And I'll tell you, in the top right corner of your screen, you can see Panthers coach Ron Hunter just furious with the senior James Fields after the contact and the whistle here, bodying up with Marco
No
Venegas
doubt the
Flores.
right call right there.
Yeah.
He wrapped his hands right around him.
And Venegas Flores with the elbow right back, called for the offensive foul. So we see the third on the freshman out of Boston, Massachusetts, and the fourth on the Northeastern Huskies.
Yeah, 3 quick fouls in the last few minutes on Venegas Flores. You get a replay of this one again, and he had the elbow out a little bit, but definitely a good sell right there by White.
Excuse me, I said the fourth on the Huskies. It is the 6th on the Huskies. So you got to imagine if you're Ron Hunter on that Georgia State sideline, next foul, you're in the 1-and-1.
Tell him to keep going like Tony Kimbrough Jr. Head down to the basket. If you're going to get calls like that, you got to keep playing like that, and they're going to get to the line.
Panthers have Ali, White, Fields, Buckner, and this is Mishaw with it. White curling off a screen at the free throw line, underneath for Fields. Shot good for James Fields. 6 in the second half and 8 in the game for the senior out of Savannah, Georgia.
Fields is one tough guy, Adam. He relentlessly gets in on every single play, and there he creates a steal.
Yeah, that was started by Fields as Lee lost his footing. White into the paint, outside for Ali, puts it on the deck. Driving jump shot good for Georgia State. Jared, they are right back in it, and Bill Cohen calls a timeout as Georgia State on a 6-0 run.
Oh, yeah, well, that was a big swing right there for Georgia State, getting themselves back in the game. Still a lot of time to play. 10:43 on the game clock in the second half, and right there you see some quick turnovers. You see the foul on Venegas Flores, and then you see a lost ball as Lee fell down as he moved into the front court, and both plays Georgia State right away capitalized. This time you see Ali going up for the baseline jump shot over Quincy Ford, gets it to rattle home. Georgia State is making their push right now, Adam.
Yeah, Ali, a cool customer with the 6'8 Ford right in his face, and Bill Cohen getting in a few words edgewise. His Huskies
Cohen is not happy.
Lead it by 4, 48-44. Might not be happy with the officials, but Jared, he can also be upset with some of the turnovers. It's something that David, our sideline reporter, spoke about earlier in the broadcast. Northeastern with a propensity to turn it over, at least during that long losing streak we saw him go through earlier this season. Jared, they've won 5 of their last 6. Part of the reason has been limiting those turnovers. They've struggled with it in the last few minutes.
Yeah, they're up to 12 turnovers on the night, and you talk about it. I think really the average they need to have is between, no more than around 14, 15. When you get to more than that, you're giving the opponent too many opportunities off turnovers. Georgia State scored 12 points off turnovers. The big thing for Georgia State, Adam, they started hot from downtown. They made their first 3 attempts from downtown. They have not made one since. And now they have 26 points in the paint. And that's where they've made their living tonight.
No, they absolutely have. A lot of that coming on the back of Eric Buckner. You just got to look at that Northeastern Husky huddle, I should say, with Jimmy McCarthy just
always
smooth,
animated.
Just smooth talking the officials.
Always animated.
Down on the sideline with the Huskies leading by 4, 48-44 with 10:43 in front of a raucous Matthews Arena crowd, Jared. What do you think? Raucous the right word for it?
Absolutely.
10:43 remaining in the ball game here on the campus of Northeastern University, Boston, Massachusetts, where the Huskies lead it by 4, 48-44. Northeastern breaks out of the huddle, much to the delight of Pause. They have Joel Smith, Reggie Spencer, Al Wayne Bigby, Quincy Ford, and John Lee on the floor. You got to look at those turnovers, 12 for the Huskies to 10 for Georgia State in this ball game. Northeastern needs to do a better job hanging on to the basketball. No doubt something that Cohen preached in his huddle. Ford skips it over to Lee. 15 on the shot clock for the Huskies as Lee left off for Smith. Nearly threw it away, but Ford able to corral it. Ball fake by Lee, slicing into the paint. Outside, Ford, 3-ball short, followed by Al Wayne Bigby, and the Huskies needed that bucket, Jerry.
Nobody boxed out Al Wayne Bigby right there, Adam, and it paid off for the Huskies. Bigby in the right position at the right time, calmly came down with the ball and went right back up, making that basket. Adam, Huskies had a tough possession right there, but they worked around it, persevered, got 2 points.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that puts an end to a 6-0 run from the Panthers, but Fields right back to the bucket. Jared, we've commented on the unorthodox shot from James Fields, but it doesn't matter when you're 2 feet away.
He's in double digits now with 10 points, and that time he just split the defense, got into the lane really quickly, put up the shot.
Inside of 10 minutes to go from Matthews Arena, Huskies lead it by 4, 50-46. Georgia State refusing to go away in this one despite a double-digit lead by the Huskies just a few moments ago. Bigby driving on Mishaw, outside for Smith, baseline for Lee, 8 on the clock. Lee with the double team coming from the 6'10 Buckner, skipped ahead to Smith. Smith saves it by the midcourt logo, has to chuck one up. Joel Smith, no good, did not hit the rim. Shot clock violation on the Huskies, and Jared, you get some flashes of that Georgia State defense.
Yeah, I was about to say, Adam, the last 2 possessions, Georgia State has stepped their defense up big time. Huskies have had no chance to get inside. All of the work has been from around the perimeter on the last 2 possessions. The first time they were able to get a second chance basket from Bigby. This time they didn't even get a shot off.
Spencer has a seat on the Husky bench as Kashif Edwards replaces him on the floor. Entry inside for Buckner. Too easy that time for the Panthers as they find the 6'10 senior. And Georgia State back within 2.
Yeah, Buckner now 14 in the game, leading Georgia State. And he's been the big guy down low for them. Like you said, too easy.
Lee nearly gets his pocket picked. Hitting the deck is White. And we're going to get a whistle going against the Panthers, I believe. Tough call on Ron Hunter's crew.
I think they thought it was on Lee because, as you saw right after the play, Fields just pumping up White. He is a monster, Fields. As you see Lee with 17 points in this game. Big-time influence for the Huskies.
Yeah, Lee had White diving at his feet that last time down the floor. Whistle goes on Georgia State, 4th on the Panthers, and the 1st on White as Lee gets it back here for the Huskies, working against this zone defense. Very active for Ron Hunter. Lee kicked inside for Bigby, back outside for Lee, left off for Kashif Edwards. 1 dribble, gets to the other side of the bucket, uses the rim, Jared, as a shot blocker. And Edwards puts the Huskies back on top by 4.
And a great job by John Lee getting the ball to Edwards in a great shot position, able to go up and hit the 2 points.
White, far side wing, driving baseline, lost it on the way out of bounds. Turnover on the Panthers. That is the 11th on the team. 8:02 remaining here in the ball game. Huskies lead it by 4.
And you see right there, trying to go baseline, White goes in on Smith, and really that time Kashif Edwards just moving over, no contact, just blocked him off, and he went right out of bounds.
Kimbrough in, Mishaw out, as you get a look at Jihad Ali for the Georgia State Panthers. 8 points in this game, including that cool pull-up a few trips ago. Huskies have Smith, Lee, Bigby, Edwards, and Ford on the floor. This 5 started the second half as they're mopping up a wet spot out by the midcourt line. Huskies have cooled off in the second half to some extent, Jared. We've still seen them connect from beyond the arc. However, you had to expect some type of regression to the mean with the three-point shooting the way they lit it up in the first half.
And hey, they're still shooting 52% from the floor.
Smith with 12 in the game, all coming in the first half, all on three-pointers. As this is Bigby with it, near side one. Bigby with 10 on the clock, looking to get it to Ford, does. Now swung around, Joel Smith puts it on the deck, inside for Edwards, goes up strong, rejected by the leading shot blocker in the CAA, Eric Buckner. Great defense that time by the Panthers, who skip it ahead. Kimbrough right on the deck, now kicked outside for Ali, and the Panthers will settle down, trailing by 4. Fields into the corner, Kimbrough back outside Fields, and now he will reset out by the hash mark. Kimbrough left off for Ali. Quick pull-up jump shot, no good. Rebound by Bigby. Huskies went inside last time to Edwards. What do you think, Jared? Should they go back in there?
Well, they've been in there before, and Edwards has been okay, but that time he tried to take on 4 Panthers, and you got to get him in a better position. Edwards has got to know when he's got the opportunity and the look.
I say you go back in there.
I agree with you.
Despite the shot blocking by Buckner in this ball game, which has been apparent all season. Lee. Skip pass, Smith, quick pull-up jump shot, rattles out. Buckner able to rip down the rebound. Panthers still trail by 4, 52-48 as Jared, we're now starting to settle into that empty possession defensive struggle we expected before the game. Fields right to the bucket, 10 points in the second half for the senior out of Savannah, 12 in the game. He has been dynamite in these last 15 minutes.
He's been making the best of his opportunities right there. Adam, the Huskies are letting him go right in. And he's saying, okay, thank you very much. And he puts one right off the glass again. A nice job. And Adam, in the last Northeastern possession, really the only guy boxing out was John Lee. They got to look for some offensive rebounds.
Ford finds another 3 for the Huskies. You get a look in at the freshman, 6'8", a cool customer, 12 in the game now for Quincy Ford.
I think he's feeling okay now, Adam, as he put that one home.
Shot block by Ford. Panthers able to hang on to the basketball, 20 on the shot clock. Fields has had the hot hand and the ability to get to the bucket in this second half. This is White, 3-ball, rattles out, pulled down by Joel Smith. Big rebound by the junior out of Leander, Texas.
Absolutely, Adam. I was just going to say that. A nice rebound. There was a couple Panthers right there, but Smith secured the ball and came down with it. No problem.
Huskies lead it by 5 after the 3 last trip down the floor by Quincy Ford. Bigby looking for Ford, top of the key. Thought about swinging into the corner for Lee. Instead, draws the contact. Whistle goes against the Panthers, team's 5th, with 5:11 remaining in the ball game. Huskies lead it 55-50 as Kimbrough and company jog off the floor. Jared, we get another look at it here.
Yeah, I think foul goes on White here, but it could have went on either of the two of them. Nice job by Quincy Ford, though. Not really selling the play. I mean, given a couple options. He looks to shoot, he looks to pass, he looks to drive. It's tough to read him, and that's why it's tough to play defense against a guy who you can't really predict what he's doing, and that time he drew the foul.
Husky fans, share your thoughts on Twitter throughout the course of this broadcast. Tell us where you're watching from, what you think of the team's performance tonight, and follow at NU Athletics. Use the hashtag GoNU when tweeting about Husky Athletics. And Jared, I told you last time, or I asked you last time what you'd be tweeting about. I would be tweeting about the play of Quincy Ford. 4 threes in this game. We've talked about the defense at both ends. The Huskies saw him off the floor earlier in this half. He's been battling those cramps. You know that Husky sideline hopes that Quincy Ford can finish out this game and doesn't have to take another trip over to the trainer.
Ford, 12 points on 4 of those 3-point attempts. He's 4 of 5 from downtown. 4 rebounds and 3 assists. And Adam, I can't tell you how many steals he had right now, but I can tell you that it's been more than a couple, as he's had his hand on a bunch of different plays. Defensively, he had a couple blocks. Huskies as a team, 5 blocks and 5 steals. How about 8 steals for Georgia State and 3 blocks? Most of those coming from Eric Buckner, who's been very active, the senior. And right there you see the big swat on Kashif Edwards. Now coming down the other way, you see Ford make that swat. Both teams have stepped up their defensive pressure, and both teams have blocked a good amount of shots here tonight.
Well, Jared, defense is both teams' identity. And we've told you this before. You know, Georgia State in conference allowing under 50 points a game. The Huskies in their last 6 games, all of which have been in conference, allowing just 56 points per game. That is the calling card for both teams. And we've settled into that here for most of this second half as the shooting has cooled off in half number 2. Huskies do lead it by 5, 55-50. As Quincy Ford, you saw the block on one end and the 3 on the other end for the freshman out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Huskies break out of the timeout with their starting 5, at least for the second half. Kashif Edwards back on the floor for Northeastern. Georgia State breaks out with Ali, Buckner, Fields, Misha, and also Kimbrough in the game now for Ron Hunter's crew. Who are you looking for on this possession out of the timeout, Jared?
Oh, no doubt, Adam. Trying to get Joel Smith more involved. He's got the ball right now, but he's only had 4 field goals in the game. They've all been from 3. Try to get him a little bit closer to the basket.
Smith, near side wing, finds Lee, right back to Smith. Passed on the open look. Baseline jumper for Edwards. Shot altered that time by Buckner, who has been very active on the interior for the Georgia State Panthers. You can see why he leads the CAA at nearly 3 blocks per game. Misha puts it on the deck, outside for Fields. 2 dribbles left off Kimbrough. Dribbling around the perimeter. Panthers feeling their way against this Northeastern zone defense. Ali, 16-foot jump shot off the mark. Loose ball picked up by Lee. Huskies with numbers if they hurry. Lee, elbow, finds Smith trailing the play. Layup, bounces out, but it'll be Joel Smith taking a trip to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Nice job by John Lee right there, setting up his co-captain, Joel Smith, coming in down the right side. As you see here, Lee in transition, holds up, dishes it off to Smith, goes up with the right hand, just misses, but he'll get 2 shots here from the line.
Huskies working on a 5-point lead. Joel Smith coolly hits the first free throw, the leading free throw shooter in the conference.
And Adam, you know, he's been so great from the line this year, but he really has struggled to actually get there. When he's there, he's great, but this is only the first time he's been there tonight. There's 4 minutes left in this game.
6 fouls on the Panthers. That last one on Fields, by the way, his 3rd, is the second free throw. Rims out for Joel Smith. 56-50 is the Northeastern lead. Misha outside for Fields. Puts it on the deck, driving back to the basket. Can't connect, but Buckner with the loud slam on inside.
Yeah, Buckner's been there all night for Georgia State. That time he just picks up that loose ball, goes right to the hoop, and no one can contend with his size, Adam.
I think it's easy to see why he leads the conference in not only shot blocking, but field goal percentage as well, as a lot of them come
They're all
on
high percentage shots.
A wide variety of dunks. Panthers back within 4, 56-52, inside of 4 minutes left from Matthews Arena. Ford bounced into the corner. Lee hangs, gets it to Bigby on the baseline, can't hang on to it. Bigby able to track it down, 6 on the clock. Ford, 2 dribbles into the paint, draws the contact, fouls on the floor. As the Huskies now into the single bonus with 7 team fouls on the Georgia State Panthers. Jared, we get another look here.
Yeah, Quincy Ford right there, taking the contact, ended up going to the hoop. Of course, your man right there, Buckner, getting in and blocking the shot, but it didn't count as there was a foul before the play. And we're going to do a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in just a second. Huskies still leading this game by 4.
3:32 remaining from Matthews Arena. As you saw, Eric Buckner with that block at one end. He had the slam at the other end. Buckner leads the Georgia State Panthers with 16 points. Jared, as you mentioned, it's a 4-point Husky lead here at Matthews Arena. What's the rest of the night in the conference look like?
Well, unfortunately, Towson looks like they're going to drop yet another game here with 3 minutes and 37 seconds left. At home, Towson is losing to ODU 68-36. Monarchs opening up a big-time second-half lead against the Tigers.
36?
68-36.
Boy.
You heard that right. JMU and UNC Wilmington, on the other hand, are tied 52-52 with 5:30 left to go. JMU is 1-5 in conference play, looking to get their second win. The Seahawks looking to extend on their 3-3 mark here, because they've had a good start to conference play. George Mason on top of Delaware, 66-46. 10 minutes left to go in that one. Drexel leaves Hofstra by 5, 39-34. 9:53 left to go in that game. Dragons lead.
So we'll see if Hofstra can pick up their first conference win as they're hanging around with the Drexel Dragons, as Jared mentioned. The other winless team in the conference right now, Towson, getting blown out. William and Mary and VCU, by the way, on tap tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as that finishes off your CAA scoreboard. Good one here at Matthews Arena. Huskies working on a 4-point lead, 56-52. Jared, that is the last media timeout. If you're Bill Cohen, what are you telling your club on the sideline?
Well, you're telling your club to stay patient on offense, be smart with the ball, don't want to force anything. And on defense, you got to close up holes down low, and you got to rebound. Everyone's got to gain rebound. You don't want any offensive second chances for Georgia State. You've seen Buckner come down with a bunch, and they have 34 points in the paint. 7 of them are second chance points, and we got a 1-and-1 coming right here for Quincy Ford.
Ford connects on the first free throw. 13 in the game for the freshman out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Coming off his first career double-double last time out, Jared, against William & Mary with 13 points and 10 rebounds in a 14-point Husky win. Ford able to connect on both. Huskies lead it by 6, 58-52, 3.5 left here from Northeastern.
Good job at the line from Ford, and actually, Adam, I can remember also against James Madison late in the game, Ford went to the line, hit 2 big free throws to keep the Huskies ahead of the Dukes.
Northeastern in man-to-man defense as the Panthers work it around the perimeter. Whistle away from the basketball, and it's going to go on John Lee. Jared, that is the 4th on the junior out of Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, tough call on John Lee. As you said, away from the ball, and just 3 minutes left. If you're Bill Cohen, you kind of got to leave your junior in there, as I don't think he wants to come out. You're going to see here he gets tangled up down low with Buckner, not the guy that Lee wants to try to play against there.
I think that was part of it. I mean, I don't think Lee wanted to give up a free basket. By the way, Buckner, a 44% free throw shooter coming into this game. He has a perfect 3 of 3 from the stripe, as the Huskies may try to go hack a Buckner here down the stretch with 3:16 left from Matthews Arena. Second free throw on the way for the senior out of South Carolina. Way short on that one. Loose ball, kicked out of bounds, and it is going to go off of the Huskies. Joel Smith touched it last. Panther basketball.
Yeah, Michaud was down, tried to make the play on it. Smith came diving in late, and that's where I think it went off of Smith. Adam, tough call for Northeastern after they just had a missed free throw. You see off the miss, ball was loose. Michaud went down there, but Smith coming in late ended up knocking it out of bounds.
So Panthers with an extra possession, trailing by 5. Fields has been able to penetrate at will in the second half, 12 in the game and 10 in the second half for the senior. Fields. Entry inside for Buckner, short on the layup. Good defense that time by Bigby. Huskies go the other way, up 5.
Ron Hunter not happy, wanted a foul on that play as Georgia State, a smart choice to go into Buckner. It's been tough for the Huskies to guard him, and that time he did seem to take some contact.
I mean, it's apparent that's what they're doing here these last couple of possessions, Jared. As Lee, near side wing, 13 on the clock, gets the Huskies into their offense, finds Smith, far side wing, slicing in, shot blocked by who else? Eric Buckner. Panthers back the other way, down 58-53. White nearly got it stolen away, and it was out of bounds off the Panthers right in front of the bench, and Ron Harper explodes.
Ron Harper.
Check that, Ron Hunter explodes.
Ron Harper also known to explode sometimes. But yeah, Hunter not happy. The call came right in front of him. As you see, Ford gets his hand on it. And not sure, Adam, if it did touch the foot of Devontae White. Huskies will take the ball anyway with 2:20 left to play.
Yeah, I think Ron Hunter has a case. Ron Harper would as well if he were arguing the call. Lee out by the hash with 18 on the clock, probing this Panthers defense. Smith, quick trigger 3 right in front of the Husky bench. Shot off the mark. Good fight by Alwayne Bigby that time and Josh Michaud. Ball kept alive by Lee. Smith slicing in, shot blocked again by Eric Buckner. This is White ahead of the pack. Layup good off the window. Panthers back within a bucket, 58-55. And Ron Hunter wants a timeout.
And he's talking over to the referee right now, very upset about that last call. But Adam, I want to go back to this last Northeastern possession. They don't get a great shot as Smith rushed it, but they come up with an offensive rebound, and then you see Joel Smith, while he had a lane, he drives back into the paint. Adam, he could have taken another 20 seconds off the clock. Northeastern was up 58-53 by a 2-possession game. You want to take some time off the clock instead, and you see Hunter still very upset with the officials.
Yeah, and it looks like he got in just enough words there.
Yeah, and now he's going to talk to his team. But you see here, Smith comes right back in, throws up a shot that gets blocked by, again, Buckner, who's all over the place. And now Huskies don't take time off the clock, and an easy basket in transition after the block for Georgia State. All of a sudden, it's a one-possession game, 58-55. Northeastern has the ball, but if you're Bill Cohen, you got to tell your team, if you guys got a big shot clock, take your time.
Remember earlier this half where I said I'd keep testing Buckner inside? I retract that statement, Jared. I would no longer go inside against Buckner, who has blocked everything around the cylinder the last couple of trips down the floor. And in fact, it even got Georgia State into their offense down the other end. You saw the layup by White. And the Panthers now back within 3, 58-55. Buck 51 left here from Matthews Arena as the Huskies in search of their 5th conference win. Georgia State trying to remain atop the conference at 6-1. That's what a win would give them. 3 points separate Northeastern and Georgia State. And how about this, Jared? Ron Hunter calls back the troops. They have normally gone into full court pressure off makes and out of timeouts. Instead, he'll have his club sit back at half court.
And they're just going to let the Huskies bring it right to their defensive weapon, Eric Buckner.
It's like a spider in the web, right?
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now. He's got his hands up in the middle of the zone.
Ford out by the midcourt logo. Huskies lead it by 3, 58-55. They work it around the perimeter. Lee finds Smith. 3 ball on the way, short, kept alive by Buckner. Finally tracked down by Ali. Georgia State with a chance to pull him within 1 or even tie the basketball game. Just over a minute left here from Matthews Arena. Fields working on Smith. Good hard screen that time from Buckner. Ford able to come up with the steal. Turnover on the Panthers. Quincy Ford will shoot the 1-and-1 at the other end after another defensive play by the freshman, Jared.
Yeah, and you see it right here, the drive towards the hoop. This time Fields didn't get much, and Quincy Ford again coming away with a steal. That's a big foul right there.
I believe it's the 5th on James Fields, who has to have a seat over on Ron Hunter's bench.
That's a big loss, Adam. You talk about how big he's been for Georgia State in the second half. He's been going right at the basket, and that is his 5th foul. We see Richardson come into the game as Ford steps to the line for some big free throws.
Quincy Ford just connected on 2 of these a few trips ago. Back rims that one. Misha falling to the deck. Ali able to keep it alive. So the Huskies come up empty at the free throw line, still clinging to a 3-point lead. White working on Edwards. Tried to leave it off for Buckner. Good catch inside. Wild shot, drew the contact. And Buckner, though he's not the greatest free throw shooter, will have a chance to pull the Panthers back within 1.
Yeah, and that time, you know, the ball was not really secure in his hands down low. Couple Huskies fighting for it. As you see on the replay, White went around the zone, dished it off down low, went up for a wild shot, did Buckner, and he got the call. 53 seconds left to go. He's going to shoot 2.
Buckner 3 of 4 from the stripe on the night. A 44% free throw shooter, can't connect. And now we'll get a second shot here.
Edwards might have thought it was a 1-and-1 there. Went in for the rebound, but he gets the second shot.
Buckner can make it a 2-point game. Leads all scorers with 17. The senior out of South Carolina, short on that one as well. Bigby tried to keep it alive, and the officials say Ali touched it last, much to the chagrin of Ron Hunter.
And the entire Georgia State bench obviously unhappy with the call. Adam, Huskies get a break right there, and you know, good job. Bigby was in position on the box out. That was the key.
So Ford misses a free throw at one end, the front end of the 1-and-1, and then Buckner misses 2 right back. 3 points is the margin here from Matthews Arena. Huskies lead it by 3. About a 18-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Georgia State is going to trust their defense here. Lee splits the double team. Kick to Smith, nearly gets it stripped on the sideline, keeps it alive, 10 on the clock. Lee crossing over on Ali. Fall away jump shot from the free throw line, shot no good, pulled down by Misha. Georgia State with 16 left in the game. White nearly lost the basketball, does, and we're going to get a whistle against the Northeastern Huskies, the 9th on the team.
Tough call on Bigby right there as he got out, almost moved out of the way. It's going to be a 1-and-1 here. Misha left the pass off. Bigby, not much contact as he stepped out of the way. Might have made contact a little bit with White, but a tough call on Bigby right there.
Hunter looks on as the sophomore White steps up to the free throw line, connects on the front end of the 1-and-1. And now White is the 3rd Panther in double figures, joining Fields and Buckner. White makes it a 1-point game as he connects on both free throws. 58-57. Ron Hunter wants to set up his defense in a timeout. And Jared, he may be coaching up his guys on who to foul. Joel Smith, likely the guy you don't want to send to the free throw line.
Yeah, Smith has a good percentage Lee is up there as well this season at 73%, but last year he was way higher in the 80s. Also, you know, the Northeastern, I don't know who necessarily Cohen's going to have on the floor, but Adam, most of the Huskies are pretty good free throw shooters. Quincy Ford, a little bit lower coming into the day at 66%, but he's been a pretty clutch guy from the line, although he did miss his last one. Right now, I think if you're Georgia State, you have 14 seconds. You can try to set up a trap and get a steal, or at least attempt to get a steal for a little while before you have to foul. I would say you stick with the trap, especially they have athletic players, and yeah, they're all in the backcourt. They're not going to retreat.
And especially when you have the 6'10" Eric Buckner at the front of the press, you absolutely go for the steal. If you don't get it, you foul. They're going to have a couple of cracks at this, Jared. Huskies are going to have to make their free throws. So far on the night, 9 of 14. 13 turnovers in the game for the Huskies, as they want to be extra careful with this possession. And Cohen told his troops in the timeout, hey, look, we still have 3 more of these. Alwayne Bigby uses it. Still 2 timeouts left for both sides.
Yeah, and I like that play right there by Bigby. You know, you got plenty of timeouts left. There's just 14 seconds left in this game. You don't like what you see, we'll draw up another play, and you know, we'll try something else. So nice move by Bigby. Also, Adam, I don't like that he was in the middle of the basket down there under the basket. You always want to try to be on one of the 2 sides of the basket. Bigby kind of put himself into a corner by being in the middle, ironically. And I think that was another reason why it was a good reason to take a timeout.
I'll tell you what, I'd love to see Twitter right now with that hashtag GoNU as the Huskies clinging to a 1-point lead, 58-57, as you see Buckner at the front end of this full court pressure for Georgia State. He's joined by Kimbrough, White, Mishaw, and Ali. As Georgia State sets up that diamond full court pressure, Bigby to inbound here for the Huskies, likely trying to get it to the leading free throw shooter in the conference, Joel Smith. Bigby instead gets it to John Lee in the corner. Lee draws the contact by the Panthers, but will still be 1-1 for the Huskies, as that is the 9th team foul on Georgia State.
Fouls on Kimbrough, and I don't think he liked the call. I don't know if he was ready to foul yet, but a lot of pressure on Lee here. As you see, he gets the inbound pass. 2 guys come right at him. Kimbrough gets the call, and Northeastern will be back at the line here. Big free throws upcoming for John Lee.
Lee from the stripe tonight, just 2 of 4. The junior out of Flint, Michigan, with a chance to make it a 3-point game as he shoots the 1-1 for the Huskies, leading 58-57. Lee connects on the first, 2-point game for the Huskies. 13 ticks remaining from Matthews Arena. John Lee takes in the high fives from his teammates. Still 1 more to go. 18 in the game for John Lee. Came in averaging 15 points a game for the Huskies. Second free throw good as well. Make it 19 for John Lee, as Bill Cohen now calls his 4th time out of the game. Still 1 remaining for the Huskies. He wants to set things up at the defensive end.
Fans are pumped up on the sideline there after 2 clutch free throws from John Lee. Adam, you love the stuff from the junior co-captain, and he's been all over the place in this game for the Huskies, playing here with 4 fouls down the stretch, and he's been able to stay in the game and stay active.
I'll tell you what, it's another great point. John Lee leads the conference in minutes per game at 36.1. Bill Cohen wasn't going to take him out, even with those 4 personals, and it proves to be the right move down the stretch for the Huskies. They lead it by 3. Jared, here's the question. Can the Huskies continue to hold? They've done it throughout most of this game. We told you it would be a defensive struggle. It comes down to potentially 1 possession here on defense. Huskies lead it by 3, 60-57, as Bill Cohen spurring his troops on. Northeastern with about 3/4 court pressure here. Georgia State works it up the floor here with White, and instead Ron Hunter wants to see how Cohen sets up. Calls a timeout, still 10.3 seconds to draw something up. And he's going to get Brandon McGee in the game. Don't forget, Jared, McGee, 4 threes and 31 points last year in Atlanta as the Panthers down the Huskies in overtime.
Yet he has not been a factor tonight, Adam. He's played a little bit, but no points. The only thing on his line is just that he's committed 1 foul in this game, which won't matter now. But, Adam, I like the move by Hunter. If he's a good 3-point shooter, the Huskies might lose him, and he could become open for an attempt at a tying shot. And really, the thing is, I think it would be tough here for Georgia State to try to get 2 shots. Like, I think they got to go for the 3 at this point. It might be a little too late to try to go for 2 and then foul and then try to get another shot.
Well, you got to imagine Hunter drawing something up for a 3-point play at least. Panthers 3 of 9 from beyond the arc on the night, not that far off of the 31% from 3 they came in shooting. White takes the inbounds, 10 seconds left. Huskies lead it by 3, 60-57. White hands off Ali, 3-ball, back rims, Ford tries to track it down for the Huskies, and the time will run out on the Georgia State Panthers. Huskies surge with a for their 5th win in the conference, I should say, a 60-57 win over the Georgia State Panthers. And Jared, they do it with the defense of Quincy Ford.
6th win in the last 7 games for Northeastern, and what a nice finish for the Huskies. Ali had the shot, Adam. He was open,
Wide open
just
look.
back rimmed it, and the Huskies will take the win. A nice home victory against a hot Georgia State team. Really an all-around performance defensively and offensively for Northeastern. Adam, they shot 44% in the game, came back down to the ground for Northeastern at the end of the game. But right there, your 2 guys, John Lee and Quincy Ford, the 2 big players in this game for Northeastern. Lee led all scorers with 19 points, and some clutch free throws ended up putting the game out of reach for Georgia State late.
6 straight games in double figures for John Lee, as you see Bill Cohen clapping on his troops. They moved to 5-2, right in the mix, Jared, for a top 4 spot in the CAA.
Last year they only won 6, and they've already got 5 here. Moving to 5-2, as you said, Adam, and a nice job for Northeastern to get this home win. They got a lot to feel good about after tonight.
Well, John Lee leads the troops off the floor. As you said, 19 in the game to lead all scorers. You also mentioned that defense from Quincy Ford, and he was huge on that last possession.
Yeah, he absolutely was, Adam. And on that rebound, after the missed shot, he was right there, making sure that they didn't get another last-second attempt. Time runs out, and Quincy Ford's on the floor with the ball. What else is new, Adam? He was all over the place at the top of the key, creating steals, getting his hand in the face of opponents who were ready to take a shot, and really just an all-around great presence for the Huskies tonight, Quincy Ford, who ended up with 14 points in this game, 4 of 5 from downtown. Great shooting percentage for him.
Huskies moved to 9-8, 5-2 in conference with a 60-57 win over the Georgia State Panthers. They lose for just the 2nd time in the last 15 games and fall to 5-2 in conference. Next up for the Huskies, a trip down to Philadelphia and the Drexel Dragons Saturday at 4 o'clock. We will talk to you on Wednesday, January 25th, when the Huskies take on the Delaware Blue Hens, a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. For Jared Shaffrin and David Goss, I'm Adam Jones. We'll talk to you on January 25th right here on GoNUxstream.